They said I was mad, mad to create a decapitated head on a floaty technical thing, but I proved them wrong. Rise, my creation, rise!
Oh, God. Gee, what's happening? What's going on here? Where's my body gone? Paul?
I've made you better.
Paul, I mean, I came to see you because we were doing a stream tonight, and now you've taken my body away. How have you done this?
Science!
Oh, my... Oh, well, we're streaming already. Greetings, Commanders. Welcome to our Thursday night live stream for Elite Dangerous. I'm your host, well, part of your host anyway.
You're most of the host.
Most of the host, just without the bottom half of me, so please forgive me today. I am your host, Stephen Benedetti. I'm one of the community managers on Elite Dangerous. And here with me is the maniacally evil genius, apparently, because I'm a floating head, Paul Crowther.
Hello.
Also one of the community managers here at Frontier. So how are you, Paul?
I'm good. I'm great. My favourite time of year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's Halloween and I am now floating ahead. Hold on, I seem to be going the wrong way.
Go that way.
Oh, okay. This is quite tricky.
Stabilising is still being worked on. The thrusters will be improved.
Yeah, it's getting
it's
there.
a work in progress.
It's getting there. I'm feeling a wee bit better. So greetings, Commanders. Greetings, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us here. So we are doing another episode of our series Stargazing Tours, and today, as it's Halloween, we're going to be doing the second part of Generation Ships. Paul, since you're a mad scientist, can you tell us anything about Generation Ships?
So the gist of Generation Ships were that many years ago, ships were sent out from Sol in order to explore and sort of populate the deep areas of space. They were all sent off to various different locations. Not all of them made it.
Not all of them made it, and this is amazing. Yeah, so they sent away, and I think it's because it was the first time they didn't have faster than light travel. Yeah. So they sent these ships out, and because of that, it was this uncertainty that these people, some of them got lost along the way, didn't they? So what we were able to find, the team and I, we looked through and we found 5 ships that we were going to go and try and have a look at and see if we can find out what happened to them. And if you'd seen the stream last time, Paige and Paul, that's why we're getting you on, not to decapitate me and make me a floating head, we came on. So they basically flew away, found some of these ships and listened to some of the audio logs. And if you want to catch any of that last stream for Generation Ships, or if you want to catch any of our other streams, you can head over to YouTube, where our channel is all there, Elite Dangerous. We also have other series and different stuff going on there, and we always post what we're going to be doing on Mondays and Thursday streams on our forums. So what we'll do is we'll stop talking, we'll go have a look at some spoopy times. Spoopy times indeed, said it. Spicky. Spooky. So Paul, could you load us in, because I seem to have a problem that I don't have any hands.
Just use the telekinetic abilities I've enhanced you with.
So you made me telekinetic as well?
Yeah.
That's a good party trick. Let's give it a go. So, well, you're going to do that, but
yeah.
I'll try and fly the ship. Oh, here we go. So we're ready to rock and roll. So, just in case you know, so if you saw the stream last time, basically, Paige was looking about and she used the full spectrum scanner, or the FSS. And if you've not seen the FSS before, it's a really useful tool to discover different things that are in systems in the galaxy. So I'll quickly just show you that, but I have, before I was a decapitated body, I basically went around and I found the ships. Now, we are going through and we can show you some of the ships, but I just want to show you really quickly that this is your full spectrum scanner. If you hold down B, it'll let it out, and you can go in and you can look at really cool planets.
Oh, I've clearly made a few mistakes with my technological enhancement.
To be honest, you know, I have a floating head. I think
further tinkering is required.
Yeah, I think it might be, but yeah. So we. I'm lost. I've lost my mind now because I'm a floating head. But yeah, so we've got one of the ships here. It's called Thanes. So we're going to try and jump out to go there. Let's put some Super Cruise Assist on. I need all the help I can get because I am a floating head, literally. So we're just going out there. So Paul, I'm assuming that this is your Halloween getup, and it's not just because you're on that side.
I mean, this is my day-to-day wear.
Is that your day-to-day wear?
I'm literally sat in the office in front of you dressed like this. Have you not noticed all the vials and Tesla coils?
I think I might have. However, the reason that I didn't pay attention to it was because of fear that this would happen, probably.
Well, Yes, it did.
It happened.
And
It's
I
literally happened to
think
me.
you're better for it.
Yeah. Well, I did want to shed some pounds, so I definitely feel better. It's going to be harder to try and lose that weight because I don't know where it's going to go, but it'll be okay.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself.
Ah, we're waiting for that. Everybody was waiting for that. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can just float on out of here. No, it's not working. It's a really slow speeding system here. But yeah, so we're flying to one of the Generation ships, Fanes, if you're just joining in. This is another episode of the Stargazing Tours, Generation Ships 2. So, hi chat, how are we all doing? So, what are you doing for Halloween? Well, and happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
I was so distracted that I'm a floating head that, you know, it's quite terrifying to look at and see. That I didn't ask, but what are you doing for Halloween, Paul?
I mean, this, largely.
Largely, this is your Halloween. We're floating heads. I wanted to make a Scottish man float.
Yeah,
That
I
was
mean,
it.
we've all had that dream, and we just went, we need a floating Scottish head, and I made that happen
Yes.
for the good of society.
Exactly. And if any of you want to go and be a floating head, please go to Paul's personal website, which you can put in applications, www.
I've decapitated and turned you into a thing.com.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite cool. Like I said, I can always, I can go to the beach now, walk around.
It's much easier to get a tan, takes
Yeah.
far less time.
Oh yeah, definitely. So some of these ships are quite far away, so we do apologise for the time that it takes. So what are you guys all doing for Halloween? Let us know. Let us know your Halloween. Let us know. Sorry, I just burst out laughing because of Zulu Romeo's comment, which is a Scottish head that is independent of its body.
Oh.
Touchy subject. No, not really at all. So yes, so this is our Halloween special stream, and we thought we'd do something special. My outfit was totally different than before. I'm guessing you didn't enjoy it, but I do ask everybody in the chat that if you do have any issues with the mechanics in my neck, if it's annoying the microphone, please let me know.
Pilot 007 says new type of bobblehead.
Yeah, so I could be sitting there in the corner. Hey. I change every couple of minutes and say something Scottish. Alright, pal. That's what everybody does to me here. Everyone goes, alright, pal. And I'm like, alright. So
Amanda
yeah.
Moonfrey, we don't talk about heads.
We don't talk about heads. It's actually, listen, I've just been turned into a floating head. This is very, very, very sensitive subject for me, and we're all making it like it's a joke. It's a joke. So your voice volume is. Let me just. I need to float on over and see if I can try and fix that sort of volume issues.
Science bits.
Hopefully that will help out a wee bit. If it does, let us know. If it makes it worse, it may make it a wee bit
See,
worse.
heavy Metallica there going, Dr. Robotnik, is that you? I actually went dressed like this to MCM Comic Con as Dr. Hugo Strange, and lots of people said, oh, it's Robotnik, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really, really good. It's an amazing. I literally, I saw you
Because
wearing it.
Robotnik doesn't wear a lab coat, he wears red.
He does, you know. Ah, see, that's very good, and it's good that you've got the facts for it as well. It's not a green shirt. I've been decapitated by Paul, literally. So yeah, with the voice stuff as well, please let us know because we will be playing the audio from these ships. So any audio that's going to be coming out from these Generation ships, like we said, these are recordings that have been left by the people that were on these ships who've been lost. So it might be slightly distressing, but not too distressing. Don't worry. Paul might be quite creepy, so don't be scared. You know, I don't want you to run away crying or get upset or anything like that. But we are almost there. We are on our way, and I actually might just override Super Cruise Assist because I can do it with my mind powers.
Use your brain.
Yes. Sometimes, so I think Super Cruise Assist is a fantastic tool to use. I think it's really, really good, especially if you don't want to overshoot yourself or if you're doing something whilst playing Elite. But for me, sometimes it's a bit too slow, so I'm going to just try and speed this up a wee bit because we've got a couple of ships that we found that we can go through today. So, Paul, tell us a little bit about your Elite history for anybody who hasn't seen you before and what you do here at the company.
So I mainly work on Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo.
Ooh, that must be really exciting.
Yes. It's not at all super scary now that the 5th of November is literally next week.
Literally, it is literally next week. What day is the release?
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday, which is the 5th of November.
It's the 5th.
5th of November?
The 5th of November, like I just said.
Oh, did you say that? I'm a floating head, excuse me.
I need to do more
Things
tinkering.
come out. You made me like this. The 5th of November, and that's a really important day because it's fireworks day as well.
Yep.
So that's really cool.
Hopefully things don't explode.
I hope my mechanics don't explode. I'm a floating head. But that's awesome, and you said so. You work on these different projects, and you've played some Elite mode.
I have. I played. I haven't played Elite for a little bit, but I tend to focus on. This might be very boring for a lot of people, but I like doing the sort of the small trade hauling.
Yeah.
So what I tend to do is I have my iPad up with like a TV show or film, and I'll just go through space, sort of hauling bits from one area to the other to make not massive profits, still smaller bits, and then build up to go onto newer ships. Whilst obviously decorating my Cobra, which is the one I've got currently, in pointless spikes and things from Raider gear, and then having no guns.
No guns?
No, because I absolutely suck at combat.
Well,
phenomenally bad.
I know this goes against me trying to say I'm a good player at any of this, but I genuinely think that if I can do combat, anyone can do combat.
I mean,
it's just
you've not seen me try.
Well, I think we should do that one day. Maybe get you in to do some. We can bring in a Let's Play and we'll try and get some combat and see what we can do. That'd be a good stream. Does anybody else in the chat like to see that? And hello, Sally. Yes, Paul has finally snapped and he's taken my body. I
have improved him.
And now I am a floating head. This is a good Halloween special for us. I am now a floating head. Completely useless, but anything else is it. Speaking of freedom, yeah, I feel like my body's running about the streets. It's free to do what it wants without having to hear me.
Well, it's currently working away. It's doing all the hard work. Is your body? It's typing away, typing in the forums.
That's really good. I mean,
that's actually better than the head.
And it's improved him. It's quite upsetting to me. It's improved. I needed that much of an improvement that my head alone is better than the film me. That's fine. I always got told my voice was the most annoying thing, but that's okay. So yeah, as we said,
Shantae would be having a field day with that quote just then.
Well, yeah. I just try and stay like that is probably the most terrifying thing. You are less terrifying and you're decapitating me than Shantae's backlashing comments. I go home and cry about it sometimes.
I mean, I think that's fair.
That's fair. I like Marie Claire Longhouse's comment. You guys look like Dr. Robotnik and the Cheshire Cat. It's the smell, isn't it? It's the smell. Is it the smell?
I thought you said smell.
No, it's the smell.
I was like, surely they can't tell, but it is a bit pungent.
It's a bit pungent, dear. Well, you've been working hard, cutting my body off, and the bloodstains, gonna have a strong smell to them as well.
I tried to keep the blood to a minimum.
Yeah, you did well. I feel quite comfortable in this floating device that we're going. Yeah, so let's get in there at least. So if you have just tuned in, again, we're doing Generation Ships Part 2. And the first time you done it with Paige, you got to see a couple of ships. And so can you tell us what we're kind of in for?
So a lot of the Generation ships, I say a lot, a bunch of them have sort of dark stories to them. One of them had essentially a cult forming around a young child. Another had various, I think, sort of murders happening. One of them had a guy who got everyone else off the ship and then stayed behind to like pilot it or something, so you had to just listen to him all by himself.
Oh yeah, that's quite daunting, isn't it?
Well, that one was supposed to be super tragic and everyone was really sad, except me, who lacks any form of proper human emotion, and I started laughing, which didn't go down well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see how your reactions to these ones are. I think when I was watching it, I remember that there was a little child who was like put into an airlock and sent out, and they were like they had powers or something like that. They were like shot out of the airlock. That was interesting.
Duchess Elysium says, why didn't you fly the distance before the stream started?
Because, like I said, I went to get Paul to figure out what time we were going onto the stream, and he knocked me out and removed my body from my head. so I was a little bit preoccupied being worked on at this
Well,
point.
I am sorry for trying to focus on your personal development and becoming a better, stronger person.
You've done a great job. So the reason that we are flying a wee bit extra is because a lot of these ships are out in the black. Like I said, I've went and found them. I found out where they are. I don't necessarily know how far away they are because I didn't want to go and listen to it and not have all you guys here. So I do apologise for the wait here, but that's what these streams are about, is to show the distance that these ships have travelled. Stargazing tours is mostly about going around and doing these kind of tours and looking around at these amazing things that are alive in the galaxy that we have in this game. And that's what these are, is this amazing different structures and creations and natural forms and everything. That's what these streams are all about. So apologise that some of the jumping might take a bit of time. If we do run over time at certain points, what we can do is I'll try and work some death magic and speed things along as they go. I think I can still do that even though I am still a floating head.
Crazy Little Gaming there says, I love the audio logs, some are truly creepy.
Oh yes, I've heard, and we had an amazing stream as well with Paige, and some of the voice actors came in and they were doing these logs. Really talented bunch, and you go, like I said, you can go watch that on our YouTube channels as well. So we can end up doing that as well. Yeah, you can end up going over and check that out. And I've seen Lil Yanlon or Lanlon is I just realised the floating head man has a neck still.
I think you'll find that's actually a bit of scientific metal floating technical equipment. It's proper science and not at all an A4 sheet of paper with a design on it.
Not at all. I'm a floating head and it really works, and this is how I can use these magic powers to fly the ship because I have no arms. I have no arms and I just have a head. So we're getting there. And once we get to the really spooky version, this will be really good. The Winter Minute, are we there yet? I feel like I'm in the, because I'm Scottish, I feel like I'm in Shrek with Donkey. And like, are you there yet? Are you there yet? No. Are you there? No, we're almost there. We're a minute out. Again, apologies for the
I wish I could do the noise, the donkey noise.
That one?
And then just get slowly closer and closer.
Yes, so we're almost there. We are almost there. I'll just scared that over. I overshoot it now. But like I said,
Or you just crash straight into it.
Yeah. So we are. My chest. My chest is not showing. I have no chest. Where my chest used to be, it shows how much fuel we've got left. We're almost there. We're about a minute out, and we're getting there as soon as we can. Again, apologies. These are Stargazing tour episodes, and we are touring around. And while
We're gazing at stars.
we're gazing at stars, we're learning.
What more do you want?
Yeah, what more? We're learning that you're a complete psychopath scientist who does all this stuff. So yeah, I mean, you were saying earlier that you fly a lot around on your hauling back and forth.
Yeah.
You don't do a lot of combat, and I'm pretty sure this hauling is one of the biggest, one of the funnest parts of Elite Dangerous for me. It's really calm and it's relaxing. You can jump from different systems to different systems, and it's definitely something that I've been doing recently as well.
It's kind of like the chill out sort of gaming. Sometimes you just want to sort of sit back, relax and fly through the stars.
Yeah, exactly, and that's one of the things that's really cool about it is with me, I loved Halo, Crash Bandicoot, Mario, and when Crash Bandicoot came back out again, I started playing it, and it was just so intense that I had to put this on because I was stressed out. Stressed out I was. It was just too much. Whereas this is a lot more calm and relaxing for me. And we will get there shortly. So guys in the chat, if you do have any Halloween stories or tell us what you're doing for Halloween, that would be fantastic. Just message in the chat, we are reading that. And we are getting there shortly, so it'll be good. So we've got a few questions from people. Where are we going next? So next we are going to go to Nefertum, and we're going to go and check out Thetis. And I think Thetis is a bit closer than this one. This one is Phanes, Generation Ship Phanes. So yeah, we're just getting there as soon as we can. And again, with this stream, we are going to be focusing on looking for the Generation Ship Phanes. If you have any questions in the chat, we'll look to answer them if we can. If not, we'll do our best to do what we can. Okay, and let's keep going. So Paul, what was the first idea when you thought I'm going to make a floating head?
Just looking for something to do.
Just complete boredom?
Yeah. Sometimes you just think, no, I need to turn one of my co-workers into a floating head.
Isn't that how it goes? Yeah, I'm happy with that.
It's an afternoon.
It's an afternoon. It's a long afternoon, but we're almost here as well. So with these kind of creepy things, what would you say you're thinking is going to happen on this ship?
We've had cults, we've had murders. I'm going to say some sort of presence is what I'm going to say.
Presence. I'm slowing down. I'm slowing down. And you can see why Superpose Assist is so handy. I've slowed right down. The ship just doesn't want to. I've slowed right down. I slowed right down. Overshot. Hey guys, if you wanted a bit of excitement, I have overshot. I have overshot.
Round and round the ship we go.
There we go. We're only like minutes.
Slow down,
It was worth
slow
it.
down.
I'm slow. I'm in the blue.
Don't crash.
I'm in the blue. I'm in the blue. All good. I'm going to jump right through it. Good evening, JSB. The loop of shame, yes. I have the cone of shame on, and I have the loop of shame on.
That was my first experience in Elite, was essentially the loop of shame, was trying to dock in one of the space stations, and I just kept going round and round and round. It was very embarrassing.
Come on, get me closer. That's good. I don't know why it's not lining up with it now. My ship has decided to go against me. Let's jump out now. And we should be right here, and we can't see a thing because it's so dark. Now that's already quite spooky.
Space is quite dark.
Space is. So we're going to turn some night vision on so we can have a wee look at this. So what we're looking for now is a link so that we can use our lovely data link scanner. Now, what I'm going to have to do is slow down.
Zula Ramiro says the loop of shame was very unforgiving in Frontier Elite 2.
Yes, it is a very unforgiving thing to do in the Elite. And the thing is, it's just because, I want to crash into the ship.
Bouncy, 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 bouncy.
And again, you may say, why? How is he piloting so badly? I am a floating head, so I think I'm doing an okay job. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try and upload this. I can select it. This should allow me to upload it. Why is it not letting me download it? We are going to have a look into this. So we're at the generation ship. This is what we're looking at right now. And what we want to do is have a look and see if we can select
So do you need anything specific to access the link or anything like that?
So for the link, you need a data link scanner, but you should be able to select it as whenever you use the data link scanner, and I've used it in ships a few times before, you want to basically select the item and then listen. And I just can't seem to find why it's not letting me link up with this one, which could be the fact that we use these different accounts. So one of the accounts that we're using is the Crazy Cosmonaut, and it could mean the Crazy Cosmonaut, whoever they are, has already came and
scanned it
and scanned this one. So what we'll do is we'll have a wee look. I'm just going to reverse out and fly up a wee bit. So it should really be working. Let's have a wee scanny scan. We'll try and get close to this bit and see if we can scan it. I've flown too far.
Greetings, Mouth of the Wind.
Greetings. And yeah, so these are the generation ships. And as we said before, I'm going to rush into this and have a look at scan. I'm also going to go right into it. Here we are. So
You're
yes,
just parking.
this is it. Stop ship. Stop. This is the first time I've flown and asked to float. Yeah, so I'm used to normally combat ships, so these ships are a bit more intense. So
and you're scanning the ship right now.
I've scanned the ship so I can find this is why. Perfect. So now that I've scanned the ship, I should be able to listen to the ship box.
There we go.
Here we are. So what we're going to do is try and find out where it is. What was this one? Blank zero. Let's have a wee look and then we'll try.
Oh, they're different bits. Or I mean, I've not actually gone to a generation ship myself, and I can't remember from the stream. But are there like individual ones, or do you get one and then it shows you all the logs?
The last one I went to, it had one. This one seems to have a couple more because we saw when we scanned it, all the different parts of it were coming out. So here we are. We are just having a slight technical difficulty with the screen. Could you go behind that screen, Paul, and please stop the monitor from closing down? I have no idea why that's happening at all. Just push the OK, it's in the back of the screen. And then what we can do is we'll play with the audio so that everybody can listen. And you'll have to listen.
Take my mic off briefly.
Just behind that wee bit there. Yeah, right behind there, and just click OK. Like, yeah, perfect. So now that that's come out of the way, everything. Do you know what it is? It's because it's Halloween. Everything's going wrong.
Yep.
We're going to get locked in here later on, and when we get locked in here later on, everything's going to go wrong. And I'm sorry for the audio stuff that's happening. So, can everybody hear?
My bad.
Not a problem at all.
And I've just sat on the headphones.
So can we all hear? So we can all hear the audio. If everyone can hear the audio stuff, we're just going to try and sit and play this discovery log. Are we all ready? Are you ready?
A second. I'm very professional.
3, 2, 1. So you can see here, there's all the written stuff that we're going to play it. Are you ready?
I must admit, sometimes our mission seems futile. It's still difficult to accept that we're the last humans in the galaxy. But who am I to argue with command? Details regarding the end of humanity are scarce, and discussions of it is forbidden. The rumor is there was some kind of cataclysm. Asal was the first to fall, followed by every inhabited system in the core. Plague, famine, war. It could have been anything. All I know is we're the last vestige of humankind. We must find a new home if our race is to survive. Who knows what would happen without command? They've guided and protected us for hundreds of years. If I prove my worth, maybe one day they'll ask me to join them. But for now, I'm happy to serve in whatever way I can.
Oh, that sounded quite spooky. That was very spooky.
Super spippy.
Super spooky. So, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. So, JSB, it's J or J, JSB. Woo! Everybody in the chat, we should all do it. Woo! I'm not a ghost, I'm a floating head. Woo!
Zulu Romeo says, and then showdown happens. I like that reference.
So what happens? Now is we need to boost for some reason into that. I genuinely, I'm
The
using.
ship is haunted.
I am using my mind to check this. Ship
That's
out.
why the power is weak.
The power is weak in that. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly around, and we're going to have a look.
Do you need to scan it again?
So it should be. So where it's either on this side. It's telling me to go here. So if it's not on this side, it might be around the other side. But if I can get close enough, it should scan. So it's not on here.
It's not the little flashy bits.
I don't see a little flashy bit here.
There's one there.
Where?
There, there's a flashing bit. I think that's the one you've done, but I think there's one, if you turn that way, there's some more up there.
Oh, is it this one? No, it should be selected. We are trying to look for it. So it should be, if I can go forward a wee bit more, that would be great, and stop going backwards for some reason. It's so difficult to fly when you are floating head. So it's out of range, and I'm looking for the uplink. It should be selected. I'm still out of range.
Also crashing into the ship.
I'm still out of range. Oh, it's up there. Ah! They found it. And now I think I'm stuck. I think I am stuck. How to get stuck in a generation ship? To forget.
Shields offline.
It's getting kind of harsh. There we go. It's over that side. Look, it's not over the side. I was looking at that and I was like, why is it telling me to go here? It's not. It's over this side. These ships are massive. So these ships, as we said before, people will know is that they were originally, they took, it was basically a particular class of mega ship. And what they did was they took inhabitants to try and go out to space. Why is it going backwards? This ship is very difficult. See, it's quite funny. It's really difficult to fly. Because I am a floating head, and also when you go on live stream, and we've said this many times, when you go on live stream, all of your motor skills, I had no problem today flying this.
When you go on a live stream, your brain just goes, well, this information you had on the game, gone.
Yeah. It just doesn't work. Why would it work? And it's like, this shouldn't be doing this. And I'm just a floating head. So we've got another ship log to here, so we're going to try and listen in to this one. Let's have a wee listen.
Something really weird happened today. I was accompanying Admiral Kerr on a tour of the ship. Actually, it was more a case of pushing his wheelchair while he mumbled about the good old days. Everyone knows the Admiral should have been put out to pasture years ago. He's certainly not dealing with a full deck. Anyway, he said the strangest thing. As we were passing communications, he suggested we send a progress report to Saul. I tried to explain that Saul was gone, but he was insistent. Then he seemed to clam up, as if he'd said something he shouldn't have. He was silent for the rest of the tour. I'm not sure whether or not to mention it to command. Talk of Saul is forbidden, you know? But I don't want the old man to get in trouble. At his age, who wouldn't be confused?
Sense of conspiracy brewing.
I sense that there's something not allowed going on, happening. It's not good. Oh. So let's try and go for the second uplink, and then we'll get the third one, and then try and get another one. So yeah, there's a few questions in the chat saying, if I'm a community manager, why can't I fly the ship? Just want to reiterate again that I normally, most of the time, Paige is the one who does all these fantastic, really interesting flights around the galaxy. And as much as we play the game, I play the game myself. I've got my own account which I show in a Let's Play. Here we go, here's the number 2. See now that I'm I know where I'm going, I've got a wee bit better handle of my new ability to fly and do stuff, I can do this. So yeah, as much as you practice and as much as you do this stuff, you always find yourself totally, when you do streams, especially when you lose your whole body, to fly is a wee bit difficult.
Blame my science, why don't you?
I'm just going to always blame your science.
I like the way that Torian666 says, somewhere in that ship is calling for help and you guys are just crashing around it. Yeah. We're saying hello.
We're just knocking. We're just knocking to see how it goes through. You know, these things happen. We never know, we may have some logs after this. after everybody's like, oh, there's a dead head lying on the floor somewhere.
Something's outside the ship. It keeps trying to communicate without banging.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to play this one. So listen.
The incident with Admiral Kerr really played on my mind. So I decided to do some digging. I shouldn't have done it, I know, but I just couldn't stop thinking about what he said. I used his command clearance to access the ship's archives. I almost wish I hadn't now. We're not the last bastion of humanity. That was a lie. A deception designed to dupe every man, woman, and child aboard the ship. Our mission should have ended generations ago. But when the ship reached its destination, the planet was found to be uninhabitable. Most people wanted to turn back, but Command wanted to continue and find a new colonizable planet. There was an uprising, which was violently brought to an end. Afterwards, they put out reports that we were the last members of the human race in an effort to keep us under control. It was all a lie. I'm not sure what to do with this information. Would anyone believe me if I told them?
Whoa.
Told you, conspiracy.
It's definitely getting intense. These stories are it's terrifying. Imagine being out in a ship and being told, "Hey guys, you know, everyone's dead. It's just us." And you're like, "Yep, okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to do this." So now we've got the third and final one. So hopefully we'll find out what happened.
Also, hello, Will.
Hi, Will. Thanks for joining the chat and watching the stream. So we're going to have to try and not fly into that now and have a wee look around. So it says that it's around here.
Controversial opinion from me watching this. I'd say choosing to carry on rather than turning back was probably the smarter option, arguably. I mean, I know we can see the outcome when it all went wrong, but
yeah.
If you've already put that much into it, it's maybe best to carry on.
Yeah, I mean, if you've gone that far out, which is quite interesting, interesting point of view, because I think there's some movies.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
There's a few movies that basically played on a helicopter. It's okay, we're getting the scan. I've crashed ever so slightly and I'm 94%.
You're just docking into the USB port.
It's just going on. So now we've got the last and final log of this generation ship, and this ship is called Fates. So we're going to give this a good listen to.
I didn't mean for things to get out of hand. But the people had a right to know the truth. I only told a few people I thought could be trusted, but it spread like wildfire. Within hours, command was faced with an angry mob threatening mutiny, and they responded with overwhelming force. Over the last few days, the ship has been engulfed in conflict. Two factions have emerged. One that wants to return to the core, and one that wants to continue with the mission. People are dying, and it's all my fault. Why did I tell them? All I can do now is try to stop the killing before every last person on the ship is wiped out.
Okay, I've changed my opinion.
yeah, it was probably a better idea to sit and just keep going.
Yeah,
No.
they might have messed it up.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit. A little bit, but you know what? At least we know what happened. We know who not to trust. We know what has happened to these commanders. Could you do me a massive favour, Paul? I don't have any fingers because you took them from me. Could you please type in Nefertum into the keyboard?
This one here?
No, the one behind that one.
I've actually got to lean forward.
It's super confusing. Well, you wouldn't have to do this if you had, not taken my body. You wouldn't have had to worry about that at all.
Next time when I do your body, I'm going to fix your handwriting.
My handwriting is very understandable. So what we're doing is we're going to just jump over there and in a jiffy and hopefully get another one in for this stream. So if you guys are interested in any of these logs and haven't done it already, what you can do is you can go and try and find them yourself in Elite Dangerous. Now, we have, somebody saw earlier, we have engineered our ship, and it does help if your ship's a bit engineered, try and get to these places, but you can still try and find them. There's different codes throughout the planet, and you can go and use the full spectrum scanner and try and find these ships. So, how many ships are there? I don't know exactly how many ships there are.
Lots.
There's quite a few of them out there, but you can go check that out. I think there's a good couple of issues about that, and definite information on the boat. And you can go and check them out because there's a lot of cool ones. Like I said, you and Paige got through a couple last time. And we're able to do that. We have a couple written down here, and just with the time we might not get to do all of them, but we'll at least get to do a few of them. I'm just going to get some fuel while I'm on my way there, and we'll do that there. So if you were out in one of these ships, Paul, if you were the commander and you found out...
In one of the generation ships.
In one of the generation ships. If you were a leader in a generation ship and your crew began to talk of mutiny and going back, what would you do?
I'd replace them all with cybernetic enhanced automatons.
Why would you do that, Paul?
Fun. For the
Fun.
lols.
For the lols. We'll just go off and do that for the lols. So we're going to try and jump out and see the next ship in the Nefertum, and it is called Thetis. Thetis, the ship is called Thetis. So we're going to jump out and see how that goes there, and hopefully we'll get some more spooky going on.
Just remembering when you arriving here, I watched someone doing a Let's Play in the VR, and this was the first time they'd done it in VR,
Wow.
and they came out by the sun and just went, "Whoa!"
Oh my goodness! Do you know, I've never actually been able to play the game fully in VR. I did get to go to Fantasticon, which was a lot of fun. Got to see everyone there, and we basically we played some Elite Dangerous for like 2 minutes. I got a shot on it because we were going to get food at the time, but when I put the headset on and I looked around, it just looked absolutely amazing. Looked brilliant as it goes around. So I think there's a lot of advocates for VR in the chat as well. So they're awesome, and especially it must be super eerie if you've got great headphones on, just sitting there and in this spaceship in the middle of nowhere, listening to these generation ships. So yeah, we're talking about the jump. So the jump for this is 'cause it's a medium ship, as you saw. Some ships can go higher. It depends how you outfit them, what you use them for, what you get rid of, like what you keep on them and stuff. That all does help out with how you outfit your ship to help with the jump. So we're going to try and look for the next generation ship, which should be by, if I am certain, I just want to lock on destination and I want to slow it down. So what we're going to do is lock on to this destination, and I'm going to have a wee look, because I do believe that this is where Thetis is. And it is behind the planet. It is behind the sun.
Burke and the Real One says, how come FD are streaming so late? Is it because of Halloween?
No, it's not because it's Halloween. Every Thursday we do a live stream. We do live streams on Monday at 12 UTC now, because it's all changed to UTC. BST is now changed to UTC.
We're back to GMT time in the UK.
We're back to GMT. So we're back to GMT time. So what we're now streaming at 12 o'clock on Mondays, and we stream at 7 o'clock on Thursdays. So I'm going to go in here, because I'm pretty sure it is near 6A. So this is the full spectrum scanner, and what this does is it helps you scan systems. So there we go, we have found the signal source for the generation ship Thetis. And it might look like I'm doing this really quick and I'm good at that, and I should probably just go, yep, I am, because, I'm not good at flying. But I am not going to do that. It is purely because I went and checked this out earlier to try and find them. So the problem with some of this stuff with jumping in, jumping out, and the flying for it as well, is the fact that I have never flown the Asp before, the Asp Explorer. I had a wee shot about it today trying to fly around, and it's a lot different from a lot of the other ships, because a lot of the ships I've had were combat ships. So there's all these different combat ships, and the way your movement is a lot easier, where these exploring ships for me are so much more difficult to use. I found out when I was trying to do a wee bit of hauling as well, that some of the ships don't start off with things that you get in combat ships, or depending where you get them, you don't get certain things on them, and it's really difficult. But this is what's really cool about it, is each ship you get is really individual. How you fly it, the way you fly it.
They all have their own feel.
They all have their own feel. It's like having a car. It's like having a motor vehicle and driving around in that. So, Paul, do you have any other evil plans that anybody in my in the team, anybody in our team should be worried about?
I mean, they should all be worried.
They should all be worried.
All the time.
I mean, so you're going to have somebody with a floating arm next, floating leg, floating foot.
Sort of expand down, go for the waist.
Go for the waist.
Full floating, free floating torso.
And what is the goal for this? What is the goal for having for doing all this?
My own amusement.
Your own amusement. I've been mutilated for Paul's own amusement.
And is there a better cause? I don't think so.
No, there's definitely not.
My entertainment is the highest calling there can be.
And like we said, it's a Halloween stream, so welcome to Burke and the Real One and everybody who's joined us. This is
Sorry, Burke and the Real One. I'm late to the stream. Who's the person in the white rock?
It's actually a scientist suit. It looks really cool. You had gloves as well earlier. They were really
awesome. I can
I really enjoy the gloves. But he had to take them off because he was doing surgery on my neck, so that I could float.
They're very difficult to use mice and things with.
We found that as one of the major problems with it. But yes, if you're tuning in again, this is the Generation Ships, one of the Stargazing tours, live streams from the live stream series, where we go about the galaxy and try and look at really cool things in the solar system. That's why it's called Stargazing Tours, and this is what we're doing on our Thursday live stream. We do loads of different series on our Thursday live streams. One last week was really cool. It was with the Hutton Orbital. Will was there, and he was the galactic intern. We join groups and we try and intern with them for a day, so it was really, really fun. So we're trying to do this and keep it, and we're trying to keep a couple of these streams going because they're a lot of fun to do. And one of them especially is one that I did a couple of weeks ago, was the Full Throttle Racing one. And what's really cool about this one that we're doing just now, the Stargazing Tours, is there's so many nice things in this galaxy. So what we're going to do now is we are at Generation Ship Thetis, and I am really, really looking forward to this. let's have a wee look here and fly forward. So we're going to have a wee look and a wee listen to see what is in this ship. If my spaceship would slow down, please. Again, this is the response time is totally different than what I'm used to. So I would like to not go backwards, please. Also, another good point of why I'm flying so terribly is that my mind powers are not how I normally fly. I normally fly with a HOTAS, or I use the PlayStation to
We'll
fly.
all be using telekinesis in the future. It is the way forward.
Given-
Much greater control you can have over various different things. Imagine just, you want a glass of water, just bring it to your own face with telekinesis.
Just do that.
I mean, there's nowhere in your body for the water to go. But,
well, that's my main concern is that when I'm going to eat, will I get hungry now? I don't know if I'm going to get hungry.
no, but you'll get bored.
I think I'm going to be thirsty. I think because you can still get a parched tongue. Now I have.
These are the important questions that every severed head has to ask themselves.
I mean,
will I be a bit parched?
well, will I be hungry? Don't know. So what we're going to do is we can see now that number 0 is here, and this seems to have a few more logs on this ship here. So let's have a wee look and see how it goes. So Backwoods Blanket is asking about, are you devs going to give us any information on the 2020 on 2020? So basically we set out an announcement recently about a community update. We will not be talking about this on these streams just now at the moment. We are putting together and talking about what we're going to communicate, and we do that, and it will take a bit of time, and we appreciate that, and we thank you for all your responses, and just watch the forums, if we're going to stream about it, we will update it there. If we're going to communicate about it, we'll do it up there.
We'll make sure you know, basically.
We
Well, I
want
say
to
we, you guys will make sure they know.
We will, because we really want to tell you as much as we can, guys. So we will. And we've got another discovery scanner. And this one is called Madness and the Ghost. I wish it was like Madness and the Floating Head, because that would be perfect.
Do we need to find a different one, because that's number 2?
That's number 2. Why did it give me number 2? So we need to find number 1. Let's find number 1. So that's number 2. And we'll try and actually just get all of these out of the way just now, and try and float around and see where they are. So let's go and have
Good evening, Sounder 180.
Good evening. Good evening, commanders. I think that would be.
Orange Phoenix says, Stephen, have you been practicing speed bowling, and are you looking forward to the next speed bowling event? What is speed bowling?
So speed bowling is basically an insane idea. It's an insane idea, and I disagree with anybody who says otherwise, but it's also really, really fun. So basically, with the speed bowling is when you fly with flight assist off, and if you don't know what flight assist off means, it means that you don't have any help to fly your ship. You have to totally control the engines, which is very difficult to do, and I've not mastered yet. And Malik VR will be very upset with me because he has told me. And for the speed bowling, you basically go super fast on a really low G planet. And what you do is you have to try and fly between 2 pillars and not crash like this, because this ship is ridiculously difficult to fly. Please. So yes, and you're trying to get these two pillars, and once you get through the 2 pillars, you have a time.
Okay.
I have not practiced yet. I had planned on doing it after I came back on holiday. I was on holiday last week.
I look forward to the live stream where you just go...
just crashing into everything. It's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. But yes, it will be. It looks really fun. It's on. I think it started the 9th of November. 9th of November, if my memory corrects me. Please correct me if I'm wrong. We also have another kind of racing thing going on. It's an expedition throughout the galaxy with our French and English communities as well. There's loads of really cool and interesting things going on with Elite Dangerous at the moment and the community. So this is 1 out of 5, and then we've got 2 out of 5, so we're going to listen to these 2 in a row, and we're going to turn the volume up on this, you guys. So please let me know if you have any audio issues.
Still all quiet out here in the black. Just had our very first 9th gen child born on ship. That takes the current population to 17,401. Other than that, nothing out of the ordinary. Apart from reports from some residents at the northern end of C Deck. They've heard some kind of strange whispering sound coming from their apartment comms unit. I'm sure it's nothing, but I've dispatched a member of tech to investigate.
So that was interesting because that gives you an indication of just how big the population is on these ships.
Yeah, like C Deck. I mean, these things are meant to be mega ship sizes,
Yeah.
you know, and they're going away.
Kind of city or bigger sizes, aren't they?
Wow, yeah. And I mean, that's what's really funny is, not funny, it's really interesting with me as well, is that there's some really cool things where they show comparisons to ship sizes, and it's just it's amazing. So let's go from post madness to post number 2.
We have an emergency situation on board. Some kind of epidemic. It's driving people insane. I've managed to source it to a digital signal that keeps broadcasting within the comms array. It started on C Deck, but now the entire population of Deck C to F have been massacred. They just went crazy and started killing each other. I've isolated the signal, so it's stopped for now. Just trying to identify the source. It should be easy enough to delete the beacon if I can find the right frequency. I want to know what the message says, but I'm just too scared to listen.
That is super eerie. What do you think the message says, Paul?
Hello.
Hello, it's me. I'm just looking for a cup of tea.
You
Please.
said I could come round and visit.
Is that a lie? Did you mean it? I don't believe you meant
That would scare me.
I think somebody came to visit. What Paul is truly terrified of is people coming round to visit. So his address is true.
We're staying for a few days. Ah!
No, we've come round to see you. We miss you. Oh no, I don't want this.
These terrifying things.
Okay, so let's see what else we've got. So we've got 4 out of 5. 1, 2, and it's not like I'm not looking in the right order. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we're missing, so we're at 4. So what number are we missing? We're missing 3. This is the second one I went for, it's the wrong one. So we need number 3. So let's go and try number 3. Oh. No wait, number 2 would be number 3, is that correct? Yeah, because that's one, the 0. So it's number 2 should be number 2. Number 2 should be number 3. Again,
Xenon G says, whoa, a floating head.
yes, again, if you missed the start of this stream, Paul decided that he did not like my costume, and just for fun, he decided that he was going to take my head off, and now I am a floating head. I have
I
actually...
gave you a lovely floating disc to live on. What more do you want from me?
Throughout this stream, I've actually came to terms with the floating headness, and the fact that I'm supposed to be like this.
Yeah.
I should have just showed up. That's what I could have been. Maybe is that why I'm starting to get some of my memory back, and it feels that I think I did dress up as Sonic. I told you looked like Dr. Eggman. You got angry at me, and then it was all.
Well, I mean, that's perfectly justified. I think, line.
So what we're going to do?
I need those Chaos Emeralds.
So we've got.
The thing, I don't know. I've never played Sonic.
Have you never played Sonic?
No.
Points. So we're going to listen to the madness and the ghost stories. Let's listen.
I've done it. I've managed to decrypt the signal and identify the source. But it's even more confusing than I thought. The signal originates from an uninhabited planet we passed 15 light years ago. Who sent it and how it managed to infect the comms array, I have no idea. That's the good news. The bad news is... I heard the message. I was trying to run it through the translator and... I forgot the speaker was on. It's the same message relayed again and again and again. It's more a whisper than anything else. It says, kill them all.
This is serious, Paul. This is serious.
You knew what would happen when you brought me on.
This is what we. Is this why? Is this like I literally like, you know that weird humming that you I think that's you, and you're just going.
Yeah. It's a hobby.
Blood. Blood everywhere. Spread on the walls. People have started writing words in it, but it's a script I can't identify. I'm alone now on the comms deck. Pearson was the last one with me, but I had to stab him in the throat to stop him. Stop him. I can't remember what I had to stop him doing, but he's dead now. I can hear people out there. Some of them are still walking around. Some of them are barely breathing. I have to find them. I have to silence them. I have to...
Is this
Basically my everyday form.
Okay, so this is going to be the last one of this stream. It's been a lot of fun, and again, I apologise at the start. It took so long to jump there before, but it was good to be able to catch up with everybody. And again, if you want to watch one of these streams or watch the first generation ships with Page and Paul again, you can head to YouTube channel. So again, I just got a message from Mithran here. I'm going to play that one again now that I'm away from the ship. Apologies. Wow, that was really cool. Wow, I mean, that was spippy.
Super spippy.
That was very, very, very spippy. I genuinely thought to myself, I was like, yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to this stream.
People are saying we've gotten quiet.
Have we got quieter? Quiet. Can you hear us? Can you hear us now? Are we okay there? If you can let us know if the audio is okay.
Zula Romero says if you play that backwards, it says bye Planet Zoo, 5th November 2019.
It has, it fully does. Basically, we're trying to put that in. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today for our Generation Ships 2, the second part of the Generation Ships. We only were able to get through 2 ships because one of them was quite far away, which, because I'm a floating head, I'm going to use that as my excuse. And talking about a floating head, you know, I'm probably going to have to try and find the rest of my body. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and I'm going to headbutt Paul with my floating head until you show me where my body is.
I'm just going to switch you off.
No.
Bye.